Week in review, February 19th, 2024. We're going to start off with comments, as always. First comments at LDY2742. About time for an open hint, isn't it? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I have a really good one that I captured the other day that I think I should post this week. I'm debating if I will or will not, but I'm just worried that it might be too obvious. It might really tell the world what the workout is. So I'm debating if I'm going to do it. Probably will this week, but not exactly sure what day. At Adrenaline Junkie 8618. Hi, Shay from CrossFit SoFlo. I am hoping that this year the open workouts, especially the first one, will be more welcoming for all the new members that just started their CrossFit journey. Last year it started with ring muscle ups, and it took a lot of work of us coaches and owners to explain that it's scalable and that they can take part of the open. The shuttle run and the burpee pull-ups is one that works so good with the newer athlete as an example. Now that the first part of the open is just the beginning of the season for whoever want to really compete, I'm hoping that CFHQ are changing the workout to accommodate the majority of the members that are doing it to celebrate fitness. P.S. Waiting on that olive oil of yours to arrive. Thanks for the order. I'm assuming you ordered some. If you didn't, tdcmercantile.com. That's where you can order it. If you did, thank you for the order at Adrenaline Junkie 8618. So yes, the first workout will be very welcoming to all athletes, new and older athlete or existing experienced athletes. Let's just say the difficulty in this one and in all of them won't come through the complexity of the programming, but through the intensity with which you attack the actual workout or test or whatever you want to call it. So it'll be something very encouraging of people participating in. It's hard to talk about it without saying too much, but that's all I'm going to say on that one at this point. At asdeespadas.fernando. Okay, so it's not the drug use, it's because he openly talks about it. He's talking about Hiller. It's not that he openly talks about it, it's that so it is because he admitted his usage. So if all these athletes were admitting that they're using, then they'd all get disqualified too. So Hiller is a unique example. He's one of the very few people who's vocal about breaking our rule, so we punished him for it. So it is the drug use, and it's the drug use, and we only know about that because he's talking about it. At Samuel, and I saw that he just fucking pulled 595 or 600 pounds. I didn't realize he was so fucking strong. That's impressive. At Azde Espada, well, it makes sense why he's so strong. At Azde Espadas.Fernando. Oh, I just did yours. At Samuel.Marcora. Trainers Summit. Now we are talking. I've seen a lot of extreme BS diets, summits from CrossFit. Hey, but no summits about the most important thing CrossFit does, training. Oh, so okay, so I disagree with that. I've seen a lot of extreme BS diets, summits from CrossFit, but no summits about the most important thing CrossFit does, training. I agree that we need to do some summits on training, and we will get there. At Maddie Nagel 5709, do you find it difficult to not be as involved as so I read these exactly as they're written, and sometimes they don't make sense as written. Do you find it difficult to not be as involved as programming as before? I know you're still overseeing, but not quite the creation role you had before. Interested to hear how you found that transition. Well, the transition a year and a half ago was very sudden. So I went from programming everything all the time to not programming at all and working back in. And let me even say, even back then, there were a lot of stages I was not programming. So especially age groups and stuff I was overseeing. The big difference when I came back and got re-involved with Boz and the team is he had, by my departure, had to program individual and team stuff. And last year he programmed individuals and teams and the other stages. And as I was coming back, just advised and worked with and supported him. Now having this full I'm completely back on that team, working closely with everyone there into this season. The Open is heavily involved there, and it felt like in a place to where my creative contribution is present in a collaborative team-like environment. And with the games, with quarterfinals and semifinals, again, team, the team did it with collaboration, with feedback. I provided feedback and guidance. With the games, I'm definitely finding myself. I'm going to be heavily involved, even at a creative level. I started working on the schedule and started working on the flow, and just got really sucked in. Um, we'll all work together, but I'm definitely enjoying kind of coming in with the games and leaning into that. At New Western Hunter, could the CrossFit website start posting links for the lectures or the presenters from the Health Summit? Yes, I don't know when they're going to do it, but we do have plans to do that. Okay, so that's it for comments. I have my olive oil site going. There's olive oil there, tdcmercantile.com. But recently, and I mentioned this on the Sevon podcast, I made some belts. I had this big black leather hide, and I made some belts, sold those, sold out pretty quickly. And from that, I still have a lot of that hide left, not in belt length, but in smaller sizes. So I played around with a couple other things I've made over the course of the last week and a half. I just posted some keychains, which are super cool. Those are almost sold out now. And I posted some coasters the other night, which went really fast too. They sold out quickly. So from one big hide, I plan on doing one hide every 5 to 6 weeks. So from this black one that the belts came from, got belts out of, that's first goal. And then second, with the rest of it, I'll do some keychains and coasters. Someone just emailed me and asked why I don't do wallets. Well, I can do wallets, but that's just another stage of commitment. And the thing is, with this leather hide, the type of leather that I'm using for the belts, it's really thick. You don't do wallets with that type of leather. So the wallet thing is a different type of journey altogether. So with the open announcements, I've talked about this recently. I am definitely doing the first one. And over the course of the last few days, I've been setting up who the individuals who will do week 2 and 3 are going to be. And I'm really excited. They're on board. And let's just say they're not CrossFit Games athletes. They're not CrossFit personalities in terms of they're not like myself or other HQ personalities. They're outside of our bubble, but involved in CrossFit. And honestly, they're bigger names than anyone, than any of the athletes, than anyone in our circle. So very soon I hope maybe in the next week or so, we'll announce who they are, but have 2 really cool people lined up to announce weeks 2 and 3 that I'm excited to share with the world when we're ready for that. And last piece, Daniel Chaffee, he's the international country liaison for HQ. He has a thriving gym, CrossFit Louvre, in Paris, France. He has like 1,000 members at that gym. Then he has a couple other gyms in Bordeaux, and he brought his whole team, or 9 people. He brought 9 of his trainers out here, and they spent a couple days. We hiked around the ranch. I showed them the ranch. They did workout. They worked out yesterday, and then today they came back, and I had a really good time with them. I gave them some olive oil and some bread that my wife makes, and I made them some leather gifts, little parting gifts for their journey. But I had a really good time with that crew. It's good to see them, and they are actually running one of the semifinals too, and in that they have a community event aspect. So we have these community events that we're doing with existing events, kind of community partnerships that CrossFit's doing with some of the big existing events, and they are one of the community events in our in this new world of partnering with some of these existing events. So excited to work with them. It was cool seeing them, cool having them out. and hosting them for a couple days. So that's it. It's about to get really start to move really quickly as this games machine picks up and goes off. In a couple weeks, we have the first announcement. So if you haven't signed up yet, sign up for the open. It's gonna be a special open, and I'm really excited about it. Thanks for tuning in. As always, post your comments or thoughts into the comments. Thanks.